What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. All right, everybody, good morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. If you ain't up, go ahead and get up and start that grind. Feels good to be back in the saddle. I am back in the pickup in the Ram. Because I still have to take the trailer back this week to get that kingpin put on. So we aren't just yet so close, but just not yet to running the semi. So got 2 loads today coming out of the same place in Pennsylvania. Some loads of rebar, and I picked up 1 load this morning. Now we are here in Wilmington, Delaware. What a pain it was getting in here because they're putting a building in somewhere that's like it shouldn't. I don't even know how to have room to put this building up. But pretty tight streets, cars parked on both sides. Got to be real mindful and careful when you're making your turns, and one-way streets and cars parked all the way at the intersection, so you got to watch your tail swing and stuff like that. But we got in here and we're getting unloaded. We got unstrapped and everything, and they're getting us unloaded right now. They were actually pretty fast. They was kind of waiting on me, so I don't even have time to show you guys the load because it's pretty much already off my trailer. But it was just some 25-foot pieces of rebar. It was 4 bundles, about 13,000 pounds. So not too heavy, not really light like I normally carry. But it was an easy ride, nice low profile load. It was no tarp, just strap and go. So quick and easy process. So once we get this unloaded, we are going back to the same place in Pennsylvania to pick up another load of rebar that's going to West Virginia. And that will probably be the last load in this truck and trailer. So dwindling down to leaving this old girl. But I'm happy. You know, it's sad because I've done a lot in this truck. Me and this truck has made a lot of money. So it's going to be kind of sad to not be driving and everything anymore in her and moving up to the Pete. But at the same time, I can't wait to be in the Pete full time. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get our paperwork signed so we can get out of here. And I'll catch y'all back at the shipper. All right, guys, so we got our load dropped off in Wilmington, Delaware. Got back over here to Pennsylvania and got our next load. It's some rolled strand. Well, strand anchors is what they're called. Just 3 pallets of it. It's like a 12-foot tall bundle, or 12 bundles, 10 bundles, 10 bundles. Coming in at a total of like 4,500 pounds. So not very heavy. That's why I have it sitting in between my drive axle and the trailer axles, because stuff under 5,000 pounds really doesn't affect my setup the way it scales out on axles. So that's why I have it setting up in the front, and plus I didn't want to be tail heavy, so didn't want to be bumping up and down the road for these Pennsylvania roads. But this load delivers tomorrow in West Virginia, tomorrow morning first thing, so I will catch you all then. In the meantime, I'm going to head home. See y'all in the morning. All right, guys, so we got to our drop off in West Virginia, and where they had me dropping off at was the same place that dump trucks were coming in and out of for the site work. So I couldn't take too long. It was kind of a unstrap, get unloaded as quick as I can so I can get out the way. So I didn't really have a lot of time to film, you know, the unload or anything like that. So, but it's all good. We got unloaded. That's done. But on the way back, well, actually when I was at the drop off, I noticed that hub, the oil seal, not the oil seal, but the oil cap on one of the trailer axles was leaking. Yesterday, you know, you guys know that I've been having brake issues and stuff like that, and got new brakes and all that. But yesterday I had one brake that was getting hot, and what that was is one of the brakes were adjusted too tight, so it was dragging. So before I could catch it, it messed up one of my wheel bearings, or the axle bearing, the outside bearing on that axle. So I had to wait this morning to get a bearing before I could drop that load off in West Virginia. So got the bearing put in. You know, my buddies over at, you know, Interstate Trailer, where I always go, they put the bearing in and everything, got everything put back in. And when I got to the drop off, I noticed there was oil leaking from that clear plastic cap. And so I tried to tighten it down a little bit and thought maybe, you know, maybe it just came loose or something like that. Tried to tighten it down a little bit and, you know, refill everything with oil. And I got like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 7 miles, and I stopped at a Napa Auto Parts because I was going to try to get a new one, you know, to fix the issue right then and there, just get rid of that cap, whatever. But they didn't have any. And, you know, it was 6-7 miles down the road, and all the oil that I had just put in was already gone all over the tire and everything in the wheel. So my next step, just to get me home, you know, I was only an hour away from home at that point. My drop off was like 1:15 from home. So at that point I was like, you know, I'll just get some silicone or some thread gasket or something, put it on there to avoid it from leaking too much, and then get a new one when I get back home, because I know I can get a new one home. So I got some thread gasket maker, and I went to take that cap off, and it literally just disintegrated in my hands. It just broke into like 7 different pieces. Never seen anything like that in my life when it comes to those caps. And you know, I've had the same caps on there for 5 years on that trailer, and never had a problem out of it until I decided to get new caps, because my old ones were real dirty and stuff, couldn't really see the level, and some of them were kind of on the verge of dripping just a little bit. So I went ahead and got new ones when we was doing the brake thing last week. So that cap was only, you know, I bought that cap on Friday, you know, and today's Tuesday, and I only ran yesterday and today with that cap on there. So I don't know if it's attributed to the heat, you know, from that brake dragging, or what it was, but I've never seen anything like that with those caps. So I had to sit and wait because nobody had any parts in the area that I was at. So I actually had, you know, a buddy from Interstate Trailer bring a cap to me in Romney. You know, he drove an hour up there to bring it to me, and, you know, got the cap back on, got oil put back in there, you know, and then I left there and, you know, drove about 15 miles or so, and then stopped and pulled over and made sure everything was okay with that cap, which everything was good with that cap. So we made it back home after that, you know, so we're back home. I tell you, you know, sometimes I think these vehicles can hear you talk and have feelings and things like that, because, you know, I'm on the verge of, you know, selling my old truck and trailer, and it's like it just wants to give me a fit. Every little thing, you know, just seems like it wants to go wrong. So, you know, whoever ends up buying this thing is going to have all new stuff, because that's what I just did to it. But neither here nor there. That was probably going to be the last 2 loads that I run. So this load today that I dropped off is probably going to be the last load that I run with that combination, with that setup. Tomorrow I go to Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, up there to Fayette Trailers, and they're going to cut my coupler off and put a kingpin and all that good stuff on there, on the Diamond C. So I can't wait for that to be done, so I can finally get that thing on the road and start making some money with it, and, you know, get her to start earning her keep. She's costing me a lot of money, but ain't made me none yet. So I'm excited to get that ball rolling. You know, so things like this happen. I ain't gonna let it get me down. You know, I just keep on pressing forward. You know, that's what we got to do sometimes. You know, as my great grandmother would say, the devil is working. You know, and he is, but I ain't gonna let him get me down. You know, we're gonna keep on grinding. We're gonna keep on hustling. We're gonna keep it moving. So I hope you guys can do the same thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Got a couple things to do, so that I can get ready to go up here to Pennsylvania in the morning. And I will get back with you all probably after the trailer is done, I'm planning on, once the trailer is done, then I can finally do my first thoughts on that step deck. So stay tuned for that. For the time being, as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.